before, boy, I wrote.
Falling on the beat.
No matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter what they say, now you go be my God. Papa God, now you the rain, now you the rain, now you the rain, oh, now you the rain, oh, now you the rain, now you the rain, now you the rain, oh.
Give me your love. Now you don't give me your strength. Now you don't give me the power. Open my chapter at the right hour. You take my hand. You give him a peace. You be my strength. You feed me with so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the HardTalk show this evening. It has been a while that I've not been with you, but I'm so proud of my co-anchor, Mr. Silas, who have been doing the job for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I would like to introduce to you with me tonight, and we are going to be discussing on the refugee situation in Nigeria back at home. We are going to be looking at other aspects and the way forward for the struggle. Before we come to that, I would like to introduce to you Professor F.R.A. Samuel. He's based in Nigeria. And Professor, you are welcome to the HardTalk. And can you just tell our viewers who you are?
I don't think we can hear the problem.
It's like we can't hear you. I don't know what's happening. Can you turn up your? Are you turn up your Skype or your WhatsApp or something? Yes, because like your WhatsApp is on and it's taking up. Yeah, okay, I was getting you from WhatsApp. It's okay now. Let's try to get you again. Still your voice. Can you get him, Silas? I can't get him.
No, I can't get him either. I think he's trying to echo something, but I cannot hear him.
Check your. Do you have an earpiece, Prof? Still, we don't get you. I'm sure you hear us, but we don't hear you. If you have an earpiece, it might help solve the problem. If you can try it.
Maybe while we wait on Prof to come on.
Yeah, Mr. Silas, please. I know our viewers already know you, but just go ahead and introduce yourself again. Thank you.
Well, I think I'm not introducing myself anymore. For the past 3 weeks, you've allowed me to introduce myself enough to our audience. I just want to welcome them to the show and promise them that we'll continue to strive to take this show to higher heights so that we can meet up to their expectations every edition that we come on the show. And we also promise them that with the guests that we have tonight, we will be talking on very important issues that we know they are eager to hear. So I indulge them to stay tuned. We're sorry for all the inconveniences. We will get better as the days go by. Thank you, Silas Atefo again.
Thank you, Silas. Prof, can we get you now? Is it working? I'm sure you hear us because you respond promptly, but we can't hear you. If you could get an earpiece, that will surely solve the problem. We can't get a word from.
He may also just check. He perhaps may have just muted himself.
Yes. Probably just try to sort that out while we go ahead. Just check on your microphone if you have muted it or not, and if there's an earpiece in the house, also try to use it. Let's see if it's going to get better. So generally, the struggle has gone a long way, and we've come to a point whereby we're going to have a jump. At this point in time, a number of things are cooking on the background, and what is happening is that the population just wonder what is happening, and there are a lot of questions that we need to answer. So a number of people are asking, where are we now? Where do we go from here? And slowly but steadily, we are answering those questions. We just want to let our viewers know and understand that we have achieved a lot, and there was time for us to try to consolidate what we have achieved before we start gaining more ground. And one of those things that we needed to do was to form a government, which the president was elected during the last conclave, and the president was given the powers to form his cabinet, and he has done so. So things are gradually taking shape. We also note that on the home front, a number of people are feeling a bit worried about how things are going to go on. And there are a number of complaints about school resumption and stuff like that. And what is the interim government doing to salvage the situation? I also want to assure them that the interim government is quite aware of what is happening and is putting in place the appropriate measures to combat all of that. The most pathetic one is the number of our brothers and sisters who are fleeing in neighboring Nigeria as refugees. And the situation is so pathetic that all Southern Cameroonians, especially the diaspora, are doing something to assist. So we keep thanking them for the effort they're putting in. Let me also check if Prof is okay now. Prof, are you there? Still not. Your mic is still not. So we are trying to look at all of these and to move from here. So Silas, what can you say about the state of the struggle, given the momentum we gained at times? Sometimes we fluctuate. Sometimes the steam is high, sometimes it is low. At what point do you see us now?
Thank you very much, Doctor. It's been this situation of ups and downs. It's not new to the struggle. I believe we've all witnessed this struggle move from different highs and different lows. For a few weeks back, it's been on, I wouldn't call it a low, but on some kind of a stagnation. It's been stagnating for a little while, and I actually believe, because from experience, this 1 year that we've been going about this struggle, this particular phenomenon of stagnation has not been new. Actually, there have been moments of very low, but we as Ambazonians, as defiant as we are, we stood up and took up ourselves again, and the momentum came back full swing. So I am very confident of where Ambazonia is going, and currently with the new government that our able president has just put in place, I think this is going to come up with a new steam that will drive that momentum to the high that we actually are expecting to take this struggle to. So the state of the struggle as it is, I think I would say it's promising. It's promising because at the moment that we speak, we have something that we can talk about that is actually something of a positive nature, and actually that will give hope to the people who have been asking quite a lot of questions lately about where we go from here. Like you said, the government of Mr. President is aware of the situations that we all face, both in ground zero and the responsibilities that we all we all are expected. It's expected of all of us, and it's doing quite a lot. Some of it in the background, like you said, and now with the appointment of his cabinet, I think things are going to take quite a different direction. I am very hopeful, and I'm confident.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's check back on Prof if things are getting better on his side.
Hello, Prof.
Is the background noise coming from your side, Silas, or from Prof's side?
I think
Prof yet has not yet gotten his team. It's a bit difficult. Prof, it's unfortunate that we can't hear you, but I'm sure you hear us very well. But we don't hear you, so I don't know what you got. Maybe Comrade Penn will have to help you from the background, and let's see how it goes from there. Are you there, Prof? Yeah, maybe Comrade Penn will have to help you from the background. If Comrade Penn is getting me, please try to assist Prof from the background. Prof has a lot for us to evening, so that we see if Prof is going to be able to catch up. Okay, Salas, so as you rightly said, a number of things are cooking on the background. But what is so disturbing is the situation of the number of refugees. I always break the number of refugees that we have now are nearing the 20,000s. This is a large number, especially per United Nations classification. When you start having this number of people living in a particular country, a young nation for that matter, into a neighboring country, it is very, very disturbing. And make no mistake, these are just the numbers that have been recorded in the neighboring countries. There are far much larger number loitering in the forest back in our own homeland. So it's actually a pathetic situation. And the issue is, how are we going to manage this with the days ahead? It is not even worrisome now, given that we know the number and people are trying to assist them. The days ahead are indicating that the number is going to grow exponentially. What do you think?
Thank you very much, Comrade. Actually, permit me to even highlight the fact that there is a lot being done. There's a lot going on back at home by the occupation regime to even increase this number as much as we cannot even imagine. Just a few days ago, we hear reports of women that were abducted in Bamenda. All these reports come on just to scare people, and this can actually push those numbers to exponential levels. Talking about how much we have to manage, it's a very worrisome situation. I know even the Nigerian government is quite worried about the situation in our country, and in different occasions they have called on the Republic of Cameroon to make sure they do things that can help solve that situation, because it's actually affecting their own country as well. I would like to, at this point, just say the Ambazonians have been doing quite a lot. Every Ambazonian is aware of the current refugee situations, and in different ways they are contributing quite a lot to manage it. But my worry is how long shall we keep managing? The point of focus, while managing the refugee situation, should keep on more focus, especially with the creation of the government, should be focused on actually targeting the root cause of this refugee problem, which is the occupation of Ambazonia. So I will encourage the government of Mr. President to focus on, while we citizens try to manage the refugee situation, because we have really, Ambazonians have actually been organized in a very very special way to try to handle the refugee situation. But if the root cause is not handled, we will be overwhelmed by the situation. So why I trust the Amazonians and their organizations to take care of their own, I am also urging the new government to focus more on the root causes of these refugee situations. We learn of babies that were sad situation, and all our comfort and support goes to the mothers of these who underwent this trauma. We will continue to extend our kind of support to them. One for all for one situation. And I will tell you, Amazonians are organized in different, in all over the world in different ways to handle this situation in a very robust manner. The organization put in place by the Human and Social Services of our government has actually been a very tactical and methodic mechanism that has been doing quite a lot. I will tell you that here in the USA, where I'm based, there is a lot of drive going on, donations, both financial, material, and even emotional, that people are assembling and channeling to the different areas of Nigeria that we have our citizens who are now refugees in Nigeria. There is quite a lot that is going on, and I really just salute the efforts of everybody that is doing something to make it work. Thank you, comrade. Do we have with us?
Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, Amazonian diasporans are doing a lot to see that they support our brothers and sisters in neighboring Nigeria. I would like to urge all Southern Cameroonians, Amazonians outside, to work together with their different leaderships to put in as much as we need, because we need just so much. There's a list going out there on who to contact and where to drop whatever thing you need. I agree. I also know that America has been divided into about 6 different regions, and people should be able to which region is closer to them, or which drop point is closer to them, to be able to drop that. On that note, I want to appreciate 2 very important departments of the governing council: the Department of Health and Social Services, with the head at now Her Excellency Khaled Bongo, and the Department of Home Affairs that was led by Barrister Shufai, now His Excellency Barrister Shufai, and together with His Excellency Okonkwo John. These 2 departments are doing a lot to help our refugees. First, to guide them, to group them together, to shelter them, and to help get the stuff that diasporans are sending. Because, you know, when we collect those things, it's easy. To send them and remove them from the port is quite a Herculean task. So there's a group of people there doing a lot. So I think that Southern Cameroonians are doing a lot to help the refugees, but we can do more. And there are a number of people who are still lukewarm about this help, and they should do more. Now, let's look into other things with regards to the activities back on ground zero within the last week.
Permit me, if you permit. Yes, comrade, I was about to say, if you permit, I will also remind our viewers that anyone who has not yet had the different ways on which to support the refugee situation should contact us on Facebook, contact the SCBC team, contact anybody, any Southern Cameroonian, ask questions. You'll be able to get information. You who have not donated yet, you who is wondering whether what you have is worthy of sending to our brothers and sisters, please ask the questions and you will be answered. I will also add here that myself, I'm part of the a team for the Midwest region here who is helping to coordinate this refugee drive for our citizens. So you can also reach me and you will get more information. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm sure the technical team of SCBC will be putting the information on the screen for you all to see, to know who you can contact and how you can reach out to this situation. While we are talking, we are calling on all our citizens to support this cause. We are also saying that you can solicit help from your foreign friends, foreign organizations. We welcome help from anybody to target this situation. If one country is sick, I bet you the rest of the world is sick as well. So this is a question of humanity and not just one person, or it's not a question of these individuals. They didn't do anything, by the way, to be where they are. It's just the effort of one egomaniac in La République du Cameroon who is now ready who doesn't care about the lives of others. So we must not allow his desires to impact the lives of millions and thousands. I just wanted to put that out there, comrades.
Yes, you are very, very right, Silas. People are doing a lot, and we should encourage them to do more. And we should know that in case of doing more, you have to face some challenges. As I mentioned earlier, it's easy to pick. Sending is also another thing, and removing from the pot another thing. And when we group ourselves together, we'll make the work a bit easier for those sending and for those who are going to remove. While we may come back to this when Professor Wara comes on board, let's discuss some other issues happening on ground zero. And here I want to look at several things. First, let's start with the issue of fire in Parliament. There are a number of things happening, and there are a number of accusations going on. Where did fire come from in the Parliament of our neighboring country? I know a number of people say it doesn't concern us. How does it concern us? Because we still have a number of our citizens living in La République, and it's our responsibility to protect them. So anything that happens in La République concerns us. We have a right to protect Southern Cameroonians and Brazilians living in La République. Every happening in La République concerns us. So where did fire come from in La République and only in the night? Before I come with my own theory, I would like to hear from you, your own school of thoughts, or what people are saying out there, because I know you belong to social media.
Thank you very much, comrade. I love when you ask me this question because this is a situation of speculations. But there are very good grounds for speculations here. There are very good reasons to speculate certain things. And from what I hear out there, there are so many theories, and some of them, given the people we are dealing with, we cannot ignore these theories out there. There is a theory that this is simply just a cover-up. It's a cover-up for embezzlement. This is something we know that regime very well. They are so good at. Embezzlement is actually in their DNA, which no one can take out of them. So once they've embezzled or they're planning to take out the people's money that belongs to the people, we've heard that the floors that got burned had financial records, and allegedly money was involved. So the theory that it is a scheme purported by the regime or the people in that same parliament who took down that floors actually for specific reasons, because they actually made sure that the level of the deliberation room was not affected, so that they could still come there and camouflage So this is actually a deliberate act and well coordinated to satisfy the desires of these people who have taken both their own country hostage and are now occupying our own territory. Those who think that it is a cover-up for some documents that might concern us may not be far from the truth. We heard some SDF parliamentarians saying that whatever they deliberate rests in those buildings. So there is a lot of cover-up and embezzlement and stealing. This is actually just a handful of people just preying on the future of a whole lot of others.
Okay, now I got your own side of the story, but let me tell you what reliable intelligence tells us. Look at the preceding events. La République was under interrogation at the United Nations Human Rights Commission in Geneva, in Switzerland.
Yes.
La République was charged for human rights abuse and genocide. And they were given 48 hours to look for proof that they didn't commit these atrocities. Now, let me tell you what happened. They are building their story from proceedings to be able to defend themselves at the International Court of Justice. First, they claim that Ambazonians had stopped parliamentarians from coming to parliament. It was followed by the fact that the parliamentarians came to Yaoundé and boycotted parliament. Then, the same time that they boycotting parliament, there was a fire incident. This is an intel. There's a fire that La République is already building on this. So La République has actually built a fire. That the fire was a terrorist act by people who have stopped parliamentarians from coming. When the parliamentarians stubbornly came, they were threatened and they boycotted. And when they had to put on fire. But unfortunately for them, the international community is not dumb. They're following the situation on the ground. So you see, this is actually an act that the Republic is trying to orchestrate in order to defend themselves at the International Court of Justice. Secondly, it also goes, you have seen of past on Facebook a number of people wounded with military uniforms. Have you seen any Ambazonian family claim any of those? If these are gendarmes within Ambazonia, then they should be one of us. None of us have claimed. No family has claimed any of those people. These are orchestrated things by La République to tag us terrorists. Because they want to say that, okay, we kill them because they're killing us. So these are orchestrated things. There are files that we have copies of that La République has actually built up this to defend themselves, that we had to commit these crimes because we're trying to defend ourselves. But the international community is not dumb. So you see, when they say that when the fight becomes so heavy, instead of people using their fists, they use their teeth to bite. So it is becoming very difficult for La République, and our people should be conscious of this, not to make any further errors, but to stay fast to the guidance of the interim government, because the interim government is aware of all of this and is giving guidance with respect to this kind of information. So we are moving from there. You see, during, I think that was on Thursday or Friday, FJ parliamentarians, they boycotted or they staged a show in the cinema hall they call Parliament. What's your take? Because I want to come, I want to see how the story is forming a circle. It's a spiral. It's going to take us somewhere.
Yes. 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 You know, my brother, I laugh because this is actually a dumb move by La République du Cameroon. If they feel that the international community is just as naive as they are, I have bad news for them. They have much more work to do, because it is clear that whatever transpired over there has nothing to do with us, and we have never expressed any desire to carry out whatever action. We have even called for our parliamentarians not to go over there. But I must mention what you said, that whatever concerns them has something to do with us. Let's remember they owe us. They owe us quite a lot, and we will recover whatever they're owing us. So if whatever they are trying to hide over there, they might just be surprised that whatever they think it's hidden, we also have backups for whatever they might have thrown away in the fire incident. So that fire incident, I don't think it's going to help them in any way. I don't even think it was smart. It was actually a very dumb move. It's going to benefit probably a few politicians who will scheme their way either into some favor to their king, Mr. Paul Biya, or make some CFA into their pockets. So that is actually just a very dumb move, and I know the international community, they are quite aware of that. They have high-level intelligence that guarantees them to figure out exactly this kind of orchestration, and it's not going to work. I can assure those who are doing this act that it's a waste of time, and whoever authorized such a move may have to go back to the drawing board. And while they do that, we are moving forward, and we will be countering them in every step of the way. We trust our leadership. We trust what they are doing. It's very methodic, and they know these people. We've actually had the chance to know them, to know their skills for all the time that they've appraised of. There are different models of operandi, and so whatever they bring, we know how to counter it. Remember, when this struggle started, they came out with their usual mechanism, thinking it was going to work. The bribery, the corruption, the intimidation, and everything. Guess what? We are 1 year strong in the struggle. So there is nothing new that they are bringing to us that we are not ready for it. So I say bring it on.
Well, that's fine. Let them bring it up. You're very, very correct. And in that same light, in the recent days, there have been very, very disturbing information coming from Ground Zero about indiscriminate arrest this time around, even of women. And I think it's a serious issue. Our people on the ground must take serious notice of this. And they have to come out with a way of protecting the women. The women are the stronger wing of the society, and they have to help to protect them. You know, in the previous week, due to the brutality of the colonial forces, most of our young people have run into the forest. So most of the quarters are volatile. They don't have any young men to man them. And so when the people come now, they've started taking up women and children. So it is important for us to start developing strategies to keep these guys out of our community. So now I hope the Department of Home Affairs and the interim government are going to look at this very fast, because it is a serious problem and it can degenerate within days. So it's important that our people on Ground Zero develop a strategy to protect the community. Let them build up strong vigilantes and ensure that communities are manned by people who can actually protect them. What do you think? Silas, are you there?
Yes, brother, I really want to thank you. But remember, the task of this new government will be to actually get the refugee situation. And like you mentioned, the constant arrest and abduction of, now, before it was all men. Probably most of the men have gotten more smart. They've gotten smarter, and probably they've arrested quite a lot that in the different towns, they're not able to find a lot of young men to adopt, and they've resorted to adopting our women and mothers. I really just say shame to La République du Cameroon. This is an act of cowardice, because if come with your guns and all the military weight that they're carrying to come and arrest mothers and take them to places unknown, that is actually very pathetic, like you said. So it's an act of shame, and I really wonder what the citizens of La République du Cameroon, they think of their government, because there is no way somebody like myself will sit in a country and be proud of it if that is what my government is doing. That is no act of bravery. It doesn't portray any good image to the country, nor to the citizens, to be serious, because that is something we should not tolerate in the 21st century. This is actually taking that country back into the ancient times, and that is why we are really we have broken all ties with them, and we are developing and consolidating our new sovereignty.
Okay, thank you very much. I can see Prof surfacing back here. I hope our engineer Ben has already solved his problem. Prof, are we there? Oops. It's like Prof still have the forms.
Well,
I still can't see Prof. I'm surprised because he only called on Skype and it's okay.
Echoes.
I'm really surprised. Prof, are you there? It's a bit difficult. Let me see. I used to do some of these things sometime. Just give me, Prof. You just be on like that, and then you speak on the. Yeah, Prof, can you get me? Yeah, can you get me? Silas, can you get Prof? Silas, can you get Prof?
Yeah, I can hear Prof. I can hear
Okay.
Prof.
Okay.
Yes, I'm getting him.
Go ahead. We're going to use.
But I can hear him.
Okay, I'm going to use this intermediate method. So you are talking to me. I'm using your mic. I'm using your voice from WhatsApp to put on here, but your video is on Skype. So you just go ahead like that. I'm sure people will hear you. So, Prof.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Silas, just indicate if you don't hear him again, just let me know. So, Prof, we are listening now to you. It has been a bit late, so just tell us a bit about yourself.
Like I said before, Professor Samuel, I'm in Nigeria. Usually played to the third conclave that led to the election of our now interim national government president in the person of His Excellency Ayub Tabe. I also work on the relief and support team. And I try to settle on some of the refugees who are located in Lagos, Nigeria, southwest region of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very happy that you work in that department. Prof, I'm happy that you work in that department. Before you came on, we were discussing about that area, about refugees, and intelligence tells us that the situation is actually pathetic. Please, can you tell us exactly what is the situation of our refugees back there, the statistics? What number do we have? What number can you project in the weeks ahead, and how is their living condition? How are their living conditions?
Well, presently around Gambo, we have some people, and around Calabar, we yet have some around the Abuja area and also around the Lagos axis. But the most concentrated region where you have them is towards that area between Ekok and Foom. So that's I think precisely. We will be hitting above 7,000 as per the feelers getting from that axis, and not around the Gambo area. We should be looking at 1 to 2,000 that have come in that area. There are many others that are not registering, but they are taking care of themselves through friends, and they are living all around the place. Comprehensively, if we were to take stock as of today, we should be a little above 10,000 from the UNHCR office. They are in a couple of weeks, we may be hitting anything between 20 to 4,000 refugees on ground. But that is with respect to those that are coming into neighboring area. We are aware that there's scores of young men and women who are hiding into some of the forest in Cameroon. That's with respect to numbers. Of course, I'm sure you have heard of the situation of the loss of 2 babies within 24 hours after delivery. And that precisely was occasioned by the condition in terms hosting these refugees, which are pathetic. Support has been coming from various departments, persons, and friends to this cause. It's nothing compared to what is really needed. Brothers and sisters who have been forced to become refugees, anything near livelihood. So there is need for a lot of everything, from finance to materials, in terms of food stuff, in terms of tents and mattresses and sheets, covering, emergency medications for malaria, and other things that take care of both children and adults that have infiltrated these camps in Nigeria. Hello, sir, Alasan, can you hear me?
Yes, okay, we can hear you. Thank you very much.
Prof, if you can hear me, may I?
Go ahead, Silas.
Yes, Doctor. I wanted to ask Prof about I wanted to ask you, Prof, about the news we got a few days ago that we lost 2 newborn Amazonians. How true can you confirm that story, and what caused the death of these young children that were born to us, and what can we do in such a situation?
In the process of making my earlier report, I had cited those 2 cases. So basically, we get information on the social media, and I can say it's confirmed that we lost 2 of them about 24 hours after birth. And the cause of death is basically malnutrition because of the feeding situation in the camp. Relief has not been commensurate with the population that those.
Okay. So by that, you simply means that Southern Cameroonians diaspora should know that the population is measurable, and we need more and more support from them.
Oh, yeah. We need more and more support. Let me just give you a graphic picture. Now, if you have and you have 1,000 people, to basically, for instance. And so you can't be really sure now in those camps for setting sure of 1 million a day. Is that critical? In the process of any form of relief come that way.
Okay, Prof, I'm happy you came on here, and I'm sure most of our viewers, they watch now or they watch later. Please, one of the challenges that people find sending stuff is the aspect of removing it from the port there. What connections have people got at the port to be able to facilitate removals? Because some people find it challenging that probably if they put themselves together and get a container full, then they will have to look for money to pay at the port there in Nigeria to remove it. Are there any connections people have established with the port authority in order to facilitate this?
I think Dr. Kimeng, who principally is head of our relief team here, they are working in that direction to see what we can do to facilitate the removal of some of those goods from ports. I have just initiated some action with one of us who is one of the custom men, and we believe that a couple of weeks we have a much better situation with whatever arrivals for this to relieve, and then make immediate arrangements.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. In that light, we are also told about the. We are also told, Prof, about the challenges people get to be documented, and it is not like abroad where sometimes people the Prof's connection is not there. Okay, Prof is off totally. I think it's off. So we can't get. My question to Prof was supposed to be about documenting these refugees, and the things is not there. Probably we can only ask that question to him when he comes back. Now let's proceed onto the topic that we had before Prof came back. I'm sure he's going to come back again because we still need him. We were discussing about the stage march of the parliamentarians in the House of Assembly of La République. And I was asking, what is your take with respect to that?
Doctor, can you hear me?
Yes, Silas, I'm getting you.
Can you hear me, Doctor?
Yes, I can hear you, please. Right on.
Okay. Yes. We were talking earlier about the ground situation and what was going on. I thank God Prof was back. I hope we get him back again to continue to enlighten us about what we can do and the situation of our citizens back on the ground. I also want to use this opportunity to thank the Nigerian people and the Nigerian authorities for their calm understanding of our plight and allowing us to function within their territorial space as a humanity issue, and actually helping to coordinate in one way or the other to let us get assistance to our people. We actually salute that initiative of theirs, the support that they are giving our people and our citizens. So we thank them very much for that. Again, I really want to reiterate the fact we're talking about the Department of Home Affairs and what they have to do to target this root cause, which is the continuous adoption of our people and the terror that is actually going on, which is forcing more people to leave, causing this international crisis. So, like you mentioned, that able people have been put into that office, and we are looking forward. I'm sure maybe in the next couple of minutes we might have some time to profile some of those appointed to office, and actually you might help us, and as well as Prof when he comes back, to give us more information of the expectations that each of these members of cabinet will, the responsibility that they will be faced with, and what is at their disposal to execute their job. But the issue on the ground is we need to continue to urge our able men who are still there to find ways, and as well as we'll be urging the Department of Home Affairs to give information to them on what to do to solve the situation. Give them ways to protect our women and children and girls.
Yes, that's okay. So we were talking about the stage demonstration of the members of SDF parliament, or call it parliamentarians from the SDF opposition party that demonstrated in La Republique last week. And as many has earlier mentioned, that we don't belong to La Republique, and whatever happens there does not concern us. So, what is your take with respect to that?
My brother, what happens there, it doesn't concern us as it doesn't affect our nation, but it concerns us. Let me put it this way: if somebody owes you money and that person is sick, won't you be concerned that your money might be lost? So I am concerned, especially like with respect to what happened in that parliament. We must mention that most of the SDF parliamentarians who were demonstrating there claim to represent our people. Of course, we don't agree with that. But since our message is being preached in that house, I think we have every reason to pay attention to what they are saying about us, because we don't want this misinformed narrative to go out there, which doesn't represent us or doesn't actually speak well of us. So I would say sincerely, in the last show, I was actually condemning the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, SDF party, for continuing with this drama of hanging on to that parliament. At this point, I can only say it's for personal reasons. It is for personal reasons, which I can really explain, because I can take out the fact that it's for the people, because the people have made it abundantly clear that they don't belong there. So if they go into that house is for the representation of the people, I say it's not. Clearly, I say it's not, because the people, the wishes of the people have been expressed the best way that it can be. They came out publicly and said they don't belong there anymore. They stopped their parliamentarians at one point not to show up there. They did anyway, and whatever. There is also this phonetics that I would say I would use to describe what they're actually doing. At one point, they said they were boycotting the session. Another point, they said they were going back there, and then they're holding back, and then now they are protesting. We don't even know. They have not even come out to say this is what we want to discuss with the government. They're saying they want to discuss the Anglophone crisis. Of course, you and I don't know what Anglophone is, but we know, or we are Ambazonians. If they are there to talk about the Ambazonian occupation, I want to see them frame, if they want to go there as negotiators to negotiate the debt that we are owed and reparations. Of course, I will welcome that, but I will want them to give me a framework of what their agenda to discuss in that parliament is. I don't know if you heard them say this is what we are going there to talk about. They just say they're going to discuss the Anglophone crisis. You and I are not Anglophones, so they're not there to talk about you and me. Actually, it was just dramatic and funny to hear them chant our revolution songs in that house. That was kind of amazing and interesting to me to watch.
Now, you just brought me to a point that is very, very interesting. You mentioned Nijon Frundi, and I want to state here categorically that I'm still to understand what. Do you know that there is a communique recently signed today between by Nijon, Barrister Kongo Agbo, Prince Okoso, and who is that, Mozo something? And the question is, who are these people discussing a problem? Well, I want to be very careful here. Let's not make a mistake. Probably they want to. There are Anglophones. There are some Anglophones. You remember that Chuluma Bakari said his daughters are Anglophones. Probably his daughters have problems because those probably I talk about. Because there is no Anglophone problem any longer. There is a problem of colonization. So we have a country colonizing a neighboring territory, and the territory that is being colonized is Ambazonia. Or more or less, if they want to put it in terms that they can easily remember, Southern Cameroons. But I want to desist from this word Southern Cameroon. Since restoration, I have been calling it Ambazonia, and I would like it to remain that way. So, the question that I would like to ask my people is, who is Nijon Frundi and Barrister Agbobala to discuss our problems? If at all the problems is us. What's one man called Simon Muzo, what was his name? Well, if I want to be literal, then they have a right to discuss what they want to discuss, because they're talking about Anglophone crisis, and the Anglophones are talking about Chiroma's children, because Chiroma told us that he has some girls in his house who are Anglo. So maybe those girls and maybe some other girls in Yaoundé or boys in Yaoundé who speak English have problem. So they want to discuss that. But if it's about the current crisis plaguing the Southern Cameroons, those people do not have any legitimacy to even talk about it, not talk about sitting on the dialogue table. So, first of all, we are sounding this word of warning to the international community, because this is a craft of La République. To take it to the international community to say that, oh, we had a dialogue, and this is a resolution that we came up with, and these guys have to respect it. No. Let these guys be wise. I think we told Laurent so when he came to Bear, they should go meet the right people for dialogue. The good news is that our interim president is a very lenient guy. He's a very flexible. You know, he's even advocating for dialogue, even when we don't want it. He is saying that, no, let's welcome them. Why are they running away from him? Is he too powerful? This is my theory. When you're afraid to talk to somebody, then that person is more powerful. Because if you don't view somebody that's more powerful than you, then you'll be able to convince him or take him to your side. When you see somebody is afraid to initiate a dialogue with somebody, then that person is powerful than him. So why are they afraid of His Excellency Siseko Julius Ayotabe? A question I really want answers. Can you for me somehow give an answer to this?
My brother, what I would say is you cannot explain the actions of a madman. There is no way you can explain it. You can only feel sorry for them, and if you have a remedy, you would assist them. These people, all of them, they need assistance. If you mentioned the Congo Frunzi Monzo agreement. I don't know. This is they had they were having a bottle of beer and they decided to write up a bunch of nonsense, as I will call it, because I read through that memo that they did. It's just funny. They go and sit around and say and claim they're talking for the people. When you read through what they all signed, it has no substance. They called for the same thing that people have been calling for a whole year. There was no strategy, no method put in place that will bring the real aspirations of the people. There was even no talk about the root cause of the issues in that memo. So that is all a joke to me. I don't even pay attention to that. Somebody asked me if this is the consortium reconstructed in another. This is the new consortium that is being reconstructed. I just laughed. So he said, "This we all see the game of La République du Cameroon, and it is laughable, my brother. It's just laughable." And I feel so. I remember Fundi once said he was feeling sorry for Atanganji. I'm beginning to feel sorry for him too. I'm feeling sorry for him. I'm feeling sorry for Dr. Munzu. I'm feeling sorry for Dr. Felix Congo as well. These are all respectable people, but the actions that they are posing at this moment, it doesn't reflect reality. And I begin to wonder what's going on with such intellectuals and reasonable people. What could actually just derail them from their right minds to be acting in a very foolish manner? This is really ludicrous.
Now you've said something very important. I want to be very, very categorical here. I don't want to mix my words. I want to take Barrister Nkongo for his words. He said, let those who are fighting for independence go for independence, and those who are fighting for federation fight for independence, for fighting for federation fight for federation. But nobody should try to how do I say, insult the other. And in literal word, you can insult somebody without using words. Your actions can insult some other person. If truly he wants to stand for dialogue and he is going in regards to what he said before, where is the person on that table whom he considered fighting for independence? Or he has considered that all Southern Cameroonians want federation? Because it's only under such assumption that that group of people, first of all, we know Niger stands for federation. We have heard Mozo sometimes about his ranting about federation. We have heard Ekoso talk about federation. And we have heard him Imbala. So all the four of them are all federalists. So is he trying to say that he looks at those standing for independence as non-grata?
Where is that round table?
Or they don't exist to him? What kind of dialogue does he want to have, neglecting a majority of the people? So these are questions that I think I used to have a lot of respect for Barrister Agbobala, Nkongo, Felix, and I think that he still has a chance to keep that respect. Because there's some little actions that you take them as a joke and they can follow you back. But that piece of paper, I don't see any substance in it. I just hope that
there's no substance.
I'm dreaming, and tomorrow somebody will say that it was a fabrication from La République. Because if it's a fabrication from La République, that is well known of them. But if it is coming from these people I've named, then I think I have to reconsider my view about a number of them. We also have to be careful out there. Because
if you permit, Doctor, I would like to
yes,
before probably we get too far, I would like to make a particular comment on Barrister Bala. This is why I really want to say something about it. Is this is it's not just another person like the Frundis and all that in as far as this struggle is concerned. We remember the actions that he called led to where we are today. He's actually a part of the reason why we are here today, and we cannot totally just exclude his actions, just like one of Frunze's who is an aspirant of to rule Yaoundé one day. So I really want to call Barrister Agbo Felix Nkongo-Bala. I really want to ask him this simple question. I saw a video of him the other day in a church. He said he was thanking people for protesting that led to his release. When I saw that video, it was in one of the churches. Believe me, my brother, I was kind of shocked. Is he saying that the protest that led to his release was the protest that was repressed by the government of La République du Cameroon, and there was no connection by those of us in the diaspora, led by all the different activists who fought tirelessly, and we slept in the cold, we did everything. Because if he understands that the protest led to his release, my brother, Barrister Bala, come out publicly, meet with some of these activists. They are not, call them whatever they are, but meet with these people whom you saw sleeping in the cold for your sake. I would like you to see, I would like to see you do that. I would like you to come meet those activists and tell them that, listen, you did something.
Mr. Skylar, let me interrupt you a bit.
Yeah, please.
Let me interrupt you because I don't want to go. I don't want us to go that cheap and that low. We don't need that. We are looking the facts on the table here. The issue is that paper that has been signed is implicating those people on this paper. Will be implicating them in a few weeks to come.
That's true.
We now have a government in Southern Cameroon and a constitution, though yet to promulgate it into law, but there are some things that will not be tolerated.
Very true.
Of course, people are free to have different philosophies about federation. Even when we reclaim our land, within that land, people can still up that we want to go this way, I want to go that way. That is free. Those are free thinkers. Those philosophies are entertainable. Those discussions are entertainable. But at this point in time, do not want to make as if you are too smart for the others. La Piro sang that overdone Nambut. Let's be very, very careful with the cheap tricks these guys are trying to use. Somebody like Nijon, I've always had my reservations about him. However, I want to recognize the things he has also done for the emancipation of democracy in the Cameroons. But I'm very, very careful about his actions now. Somebody like Monzo, I don't have anything to say because he's a cheap, it's a cheap sellout. But somebody I hold in high esteem like Barrister Nkongo, I don't expect him to go that low. And I hope that he's going to regain his stand with due time. That said, let's try to swing a bit out of that. The next days are coming. The new government has been put in place. What do you put as your priority for the new government?
Thank you very much, my brother. I echoed this in earlier conversations. I was focusing on the issues on the ground. Our focus has to be measures that will help regain territory. We have a good government. We have a people that are 100%, 100% in full behind the government. What is left? We have a constitution that will soon be adopted. We have most of the tools that make a real government functional. There is one thing that is lacking. What is that thing? That is control of territory. So my greatest expectation from this current government, I would like to see them in all the different departments that have been created, carry out actions that lead to control of territory. Whether it's the Department of Education finally getting control of the schools, getting allegiance from all the different institutions, school educational institutions that exist, one way or the other, that will be their own contribution. towards controlling territory, whether it's the Department of Economy controlling.
Salas, don't play politics with me. Salas, don't play politics with me.
Economic policy in our territorial space.
Tell the interim government
their own action towards controlling our territory.
Salas, don't play politics with me. Tell the interim government the two main priorities that you have, that you think is there. No, I don't want whether it is this. Tell them straight up front, because assume that you were put as a sole advisor to them. What will you hit as priority 1, priority 2?
If I were in that position, I will prioritize first the Department of Defense. I would like to make it as exquisite as it can be, so that it will promote this vision of controlling territorial space, because we can tell that that is the main tool that the operation regime has used to maintain the grip over us, and we need to take that out. So I will prioritize the Department of Defense.
That is perfect. I also think that in addition to what the other activities that the other departments are doing, we have 3 departments now that needs to overshadow everything. And to me, number 1 is Department of Defense. Number 2 is the Home Affairs. Because whatever thing we are doing, we want to go to Boya, and Home Affairs is supposed to build up that ground for us to enter Boya. Number 3 is Health and Social Service. We have a number of our brothers and sisters who have run away and they need help. So if I were to make my request to the interim government, I'll put it 3. 1, defense. 2, Home Affairs. We want to have our identity. We want to have our passports. We want to have our identity cards. We want our people to be secured. This is the work of Home Affairs, and we expect them to do that within record time. We want them to open for us the border roads for us to enter and go out. Then we are pleading with Health and Social Service to augment. With this department, we only plead for them to augment and help to offer their services to our brothers and sisters who are in Nigeria.
I must add, comrade, that we are hoping to have some of these officials come up on our platform. By the way, we send an open invitation to all the different officials which we will follow up with an official request to have them on the show to actually let them speak with our people and let them know what their responsibility and what the expectation of the people are. We will actually have to have them on the show to explain all of this, so that they can hear from our people, can hear from them firsthand.
Thank you very much, Silas. And if you have any questions for HardTalk, you can send them directly to hardtalkambalan@gmail.com. All your questions to hardtalkambalan@gmail.com. And with that, we would like to appreciate the work of some people. First of all, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate all those who have been appointed and to thank the interim president for the hard work he has done. Looking through that list, trust me, I am very, very satisfied with that list, because he has done a lot of homework. It is true that once beaten, twice shy. I remember when the first Kakuf appointment came up, the next day people could not rest with a lot of words here and there, but you can remember that the whole atmosphere is there for people are satisfied. Even those who have differences realize that they are not founded. So I want to send appreciation to the president. I want to send appreciation to Professor Carson Anyangwe for humbling himself and accepting to work with the interim government. That's a man who has put a lot of this struggle over the years, and you can see humble himself to work with the president. Those are people I emulate. I mean, he deserves to be praised. I mean, I think that every day, every Southern community should come out and thank Professor Anyangwe for his humility. These are people that we should not, we should not take them. Professor Anyangwe, Dr. Mfongalamfo, these are senior people who have done a lot, and they have humbled themselves to work with that. He's our president, but according to age, in the struggle he came after, they have humbled themselves. I know why I'm emphasizing on this.
My
I
brother,
also want to take this opportunity to thank Deacon Tassan Wilfred for accepting to head the Ministry of Education. I mean, he has done a lot, and he has realized that we have achieved it, and he has gone back to the department where he is a hero. I want to appreciate these people, and many others. I appreciate all the others, and those that are working in different areas. I said, good job. I also want to thank some special person, one lady, Kalesh Bongo. This lady, he is that kind of person that you don't see him in public, you don't see her in public, but she's doing a lot on the background. This lady works 24 hours, 7 on 7. I mean, I want to say that when our people are on ground zero, they should know that some people are not sleeping on their behalf. They are not. And I also want to use, without mixing my words, we are calling on the interim government to not pay a lot of delay again with these defense issues, because the government has already taken long. It has taken long for it to come out with this defense issue. We need it like hot cake. Our people on the ground need protection,
Absolutely.
and we can't try to drag it.
Absolutely.
So let me hear from you. Thank you. Your
Yes,
last, you have 4 minutes to round up.
my brother, I think if I really did what is on my mind, I have more than 4 minutes to say it, but I will keep it short and straight to the point, because you actually, when you started congratulating the people that have been appointed, I thought you were going to at least give me the space to appreciate one particular person. But the fact that you mentioned Kalesh already, that took me off my rails, because I have so much admiration for this lady. This is a very, very exemplary lady who have shown commitment since from day one of this struggle. She has given her everything. She has basically sacrificed her life for this struggle, and that is the kind of stewardship that we need. I am very, very excited that she has been maintained in that position, and I have no doubt the work that she's going to do and which she has done already. We're talking about people being in the struggle for years and what they have achieved. I'm excited about what she can do in the coming months, talk less of years, because for the few months that she was given a responsibility, she executed it with such style that cannot be compared. And this is what we expect from a lot of women. Most often we have people have said, oh, it's just a bunch of men making a lot of noise. I would want to draw the attention of many women who probably are holding themselves back and thinking that this is something that the men are orchestrating for themselves. Look at what Kalesh, without pushing any shoulder anywhere, she has been able to come in, do her stuff, and the chance was given. The chance is there for everybody. People should come in and giving their very best. You already appreciated Professor Carson for me. I really would want to. We met once here. I would like to meet him again on a one-on-one. Sincerely, I have a lot to share with him, and I hope that situation will present itself again. I will also mention Patasang, our humble able Patasang, who doubt what he has achieved, who doubt what he can do. He has been there from day one. He has not been. He might want someone who has been there for 50 years. He's been there for the time that he has been, and we all see the fruit. He has shown integrity. He has shown commitment. He has shown all the patience that is needed for leadership. He is now going to head the education, which we know he is very versed with, together with other able hands. My appreciation of these nominations, it's actually very excellent. I can only say I know you want to stop me, but let me just say, I would say our president was actually guided by the Spirit of God. I know he's a man who fears God. He did exactly what the selections tell for himself, and I am very, very excited with this government that whatever is a weakness that still exists in it, we together will hold our hands and push whoever is holding back to move forward. I would also like to call on those who have been appointed that this is a trust. The President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has entrusted you all who have been appointed with the future and the destinies of Ambazonians. Please give in your utmost best. Give in your utmost best. You have our support, and please don't fail on any occasion to do what is expected of you. Don't betray that trust. Keep it moving. Ambazonia is with you. I will hold it right there, but I have a lot more to say.
Yeah, but Silas, before you go, I think we still I mean, further we still have about 5 minutes. So you still from 2 minutes. Wait a minute. You remember this program has brought a number of people to ministerial positions. So let's not forget to thank those who have passed through this program and now they are ministers.
You are right.
Call them Secretary of State. And I'm going to call him my humble friend Chris Anu, Secretary Chris Anu. Somebody has said better call him Chris Anu now. Congratulations, sir. I also want to call him my very good friend, Ambassador alias Kuku Blink. Ambassador Larry Daniel. I mean, the man Larry Daniel, you know, she was with us the other time.
Permit me to cut you.
I'll give you a chance to. I'll give you a chance to talk to her also. I also want to note here Ambassador Donatus Muma. This is a guy who has, one of the areas with the highest support coming is China, and this is the guy who have been working on the background to galvanize support for Skakuf. Even before Skakuf came up, these guys were doing a lot on the ground, and the person who was manning all of this was thank you to that moment. Now he has made ambassador. I want to say congratulations, my bosom friend. I also want to congratulate the biggest ambassador of Europe. That's the Midland Europe. That's Elat. I know you can hear me. I mean, great job there. And I want to congratulate our own man, Ambassador Ray Baba. You know, these are.
Oh, you took it off my mouth. So go ahead and say. I wanted to say that's my ambassador.
Okay, that's a nice one there. That's a nice one there.
I wanted to give that special.
So I'll give you the floor.
Yes.
I also want to remember some two important ladies who have been appointed. You have Secretary, you have Mangang, and you have Dr. Elizabeth. I think congratulations to them for the good job they've been doing. So you can then round up and close the show. You know how to do it.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We can only thank these people. They are able people. They have proven their worth. We are excited to see what they are here to bring. I want to personally congratulate Ambassador Bully Rene, Ray Baba, as commonly known. So I am excited. That's someone I know personally. So Mr. Ambassador, we are ready to work with you. We are ready. Feel free to call on us anytime if you need help or you have an assignment for us. Your people are right behind you and they are willing to give you their 100% support. I also want to congratulate Mangang. Like you said, she is one lady who has been impeccable in most of the things that she's done. And again, I have no doubt what this team can do. Dr. Bernadette, we are excited. And I thank everyone who is supporting this government, and I urge every citizen to contribute whatever this government needs to, because they're going to need our support. The team is there, but they definitely need our support to move the vision forward. So let's give them our maximum support and cooperation and keep low the noise making so they can have the level head to do the task which we have entrusted into their hands to do. Okay, so I thank every Ambazonian citizen, our fellow viewers of SCBC TV. I thank you all for watching the show back from Amberland and all around the world. We are excited that our viewership is growing. We encourage you to continue to tune into this program every Sunday and keep us with the latest that is happening in your area. Send us emails, give us hints on the hot topics that are going on, things that you want to hear on the show, and we will bring you your favorite guest every time you want. And we apologize for the technical issues that we had with Professor F.R.A today. We will continue to make efforts to bring you the very best of HardTalk on SCBC TV. So continue to watch this show. We are together, and have a wonderful beginning of the week. Thank you very much, Doctor, for continuously giving me this opportunity. I'm excited to be on this program of yours, and you can count on me at any time. My respect. This has been Dr. Maxellus Atanga with myself, Silas Ate for HardTalk on SCBC. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Falling on the beat.
No matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter what they say, now you go be my God. Papa God, now you the rain, now you the rain, now you the rain, oh, now you the rain, oh, now you the rain, now you the rain, now you the rain, oh, now you the rain, oh.
Now you don't give me your love. Now you don't give me your strength. Now you don't give me the power. Open my chapter at the right hour. You take my hand. You give him a peace. You be my strength. You fill me with so much.